What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the all fights start. Round one. I just wanted to get on, try to escape a little bit, little hectic morning here. Had a lot of paperwork to look over, a lot of decisions to make, and we're still not out of the park with all these decisions. I guess at 11 o'clock, other arrangements are going to be made, and it's just been a little bit of a already tough morning. But I did want to also come on and talk boxing a little, because this is an interesting fight right here, and guys, this is a sport I love. It keeps my mind going, keeps the what if. So I would really appreciate, what I'm saying, questions about the fights or what fights you guys want to talk about, to really get my boxing mind going and interact with you guys. Because, you know, if ever I needed my Round One Sports Talk family, it's like right now, in moments like this when I have empty space, and time. So, uh, I'm just trying to keep it together right now, you know? And if you don't know, um, it's tough to keep a smile, but I have to. And if you don't know, I recently had lost my daughter, and her name was Anna Alicia, and she was 27 years old, and she would have turned 28 the this month in March 16th. She would have turned 28, and we lost her to a tragic, you know, current event, I guess. Her where her lungs seized up and she couldn't get her asthma pump, I guess, for it to unlock it, and she passed away. So my ex-wife, she didn't take it well, and she was hospitalized, and when she came home from the hospital, I guess confronting with her daughter's stuff in her room, or uh, she decided she was going to go after our daughter, I guess, and the only way I can explain it. So now, I lost a childhood friend, uh, my first and only wife, to at that time, and and I sit back and I think of our memories and shit. You think about, like, the end is is the thing you remember the most, is the end of your relationship with a girl, right? If you were fortunate enough to meet the right one and still with her, congratulations, keep going forward. I was with her for over 20 plus years, and like, the end is what, you know and on a separation, you don't end well, right? So sometimes you have these kinds of, like, memories of the end, and in this case, all I think about is her before any of our children. Like, my children might know us when we were older, right? But when I think of her, I think of her when we were young, and I said here, this morning, and I was just thinking of things, and I was saying to myself, like, I remember, like, being a kid. I was 11 years old when I met her. I was 11 years old, and shit, she gave me my first hickey on my neck. I went home, my mom flipped out. I was like, "You can't give me a hickey." She's like, "Oh, I ain't gonna let none of them girls in your school because we went to separate schools. So when I went to my school, she wanted the other girls to know that I was her boyfriend. Okay. So like I remember like when we met, we was in Crystal Park, right? And her boyfriend went around telling everybody how he kissed her, and I was all jealous. So I was like, dude, I should be kissing her. So like I made up this bullshit like argument with the kid just to fight him, just to beat him up in front of her like that. And I did. I did that. And in fact, so okay, somebody had a broken leg the day in the park. I don't know who did. Some kid. He had a crutch. Somewhere, somehow, a crutch got involved because I got hit with it. I got hit with it on my back. They hit me with a crutch when I was fighting the kid. So his mother came out and grabbed me by the hair or whatever. Then somebody ran home, got my mom, and then my mom and his mom went at it in the middle of the street. My mom dusted her off quick. I mean, it wasn't even, it was quick, right? But this was a memory. This is actually how I met her. Yeah. And it's just funny, like I was 11 years old, like stirring up some shit in the neighborhood and shit. Yeah. And then it was like she was like mad at the situation that I done beat up her boyfriend and shit. But she was like, you know, she was digging the kid. You know what I'm saying? Yo, check it out, right? I remember like a month or two, maybe more, a little bit longer, but I wanted her to like me. So everything she said at the time, right? Like I would pay attention to it. So I'm walking her to school. By the way, we didn't go to the same school. I made sure she got to school on time. You know what I mean? And I was late to my school all the time, right? But it didn't matter, long as she got there first. So she referenced that she liked like shell toe Adidas. And back in the day, in my day, they had them with the fat laces. And Run DMC was like killing the streets. You know what I'm saying? You had to have a boom box with the big batteries in them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm talking cassette tapes, right? Boom, right? So I couldn't afford none of that shit. How the fuck was I gonna get shell toe Adidas, man? Mom wasn't going for that. I was like, damn, right? Boy, don't you know your boy came up? We ain't gotta talk about that. I came up and my brother, my best friend, and some random fucking kid was there on the day I came up. Don't worry about how I did it. So I go right to the sneaker store, right to the sneaker store. And my brother was like, buy me a pair of sneakers. Yo, them Shelter Adidas was $51. $51, bro. That was a lot of money. I was like, damn, that's like the equivalent of $201 today. That's what the equivalent of that shit was. I'm talking cigarettes back then was still like what, 475, 425? You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, Foot Locker was still tripping sometimes. They would put out two sneakers, right? We in that time. Arcade is right there. We still putting quarters in the slot machines and shit. And she said she like shell toe Adidas. I was, damn. I said, let me get those with the fat laces to go. Today, we're not looking at them. Let me get them. My brother wanted a pair. My best friend, Josh. Y'all remember this shit. And what I say, y'all could have anything you want. but shell toe Adidas. They had to get the blue Pumas. I got Jose, I think the blue and white ones, and Josh, the black leather with the white strap. And the kid that was with him, he got $10. That's it. You ain't getting no sneakers. I didn't know this dude like that. So, yeah, it was a great day. Listen, if you think your boy didn't go back to the neighborhood with the shell toes, walked right in front of him, and I was acting like it's nothing. Listen, the tongue of the shell toe was definitely out. My pants was tucked in, razor thin line, crease going down my pants. Yo, that shit was so man. You could cut paper on that bitch, right? And I had the belt buckle. You know the belt buckle with the Playboy, and you put the little name things. Man, I had that shit. I ain't had no Kango because I never rock Kangos and shit. But because I was fresh to death, I had the smooth Latino hair, bro. You never want to cover that shit up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Your boy was fresh, right? I went walking up like this. You know what I'm saying? But you got to keep it cool too. Oh, and I had like a big paper rose. I bought it. I don't remember how I got it. Tell you the truth, somewhere in the fact that I knew I was fresh to death and I was gonna about to go break some hearts and I was gonna go bag the one I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like not say her name and shit. And like, so I walks up. I'm like, man, I'm like, you know, your boy was just standing there. Like, she was like, oh, are those the black? Yes, they are. Oh, these old things. The tag's still on them and shit. Yo, listen, if I could, I would walk with the box around the sneaker, all right? I'd do it, right? Oh, these things, you know what I'm saying? This is how I do. And like, just remembering that about us, you know what I'm saying? Like, those moments. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to my wife about it and shit. Like you know, she secure. We've been together 17 years and shit. Like, but she understands. Like, she's been real supportive and everything. And she understood. She's like, man, there was a time y'all was in love and shit. And she was like, I think you need to address that. You know what I'm saying? Not to focus on like the shit that you know what I mean. Like, fuck that shit. You know. And she was a big part of my life. She was a big part of my life. 11, yeah, I met her when I was 11 years old. You know, we just started real young. That was it. You know, had we you know, had our not to fault anybody or our parents or anything or nothing. I mean, I take nothing back. It was what it was. It is what it is. That's it. There's no excuses on neither side. You know, I learned life taught me that, you know, and she passed away too. So I lost two very, very important people in my life back to back. You know, and I'm having a situation now where, you know, my daughter, my oldest daughter, we still haven't talked after like her sister passing away, and like now her mom, like, you know, I worry about her. I worry about her. You know, I just hope she's like in good space. You know, my kids, my kids always talk to me about, you know, the moments and times when they were alive with me and her mother. You know, there was a big portion of our lives None of our kids were alive. Huge, huge. I went to carnivals with this woman on first dates. Got jealous, fights, arguments. We lived in multiple apartments together. It's like, you know, I have a lot of memories with this woman, you know, and she was a friend. She was a friend in the end of the day, you know, no matter what happened. And it's you know, I don't know, man. Sometimes you get in a situation where you like, fuck, like sometimes I might have thought somebody would always be here. You know, I you don't apologize for this, you don't fix that, or you know, you walked away not saying the best of things, and then that person's not here anymore, and you're like, damn, like fuck, and that shit just sucks, bro. But yeah, man, this is just some like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to like process a lot of this, but within 30 days, man, mm, mm, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, you know. But yeah, I just just if I'm gonna be thinking about her and stuff, I like to remember all the times, you know, a lot of silly moments, you know, and just go forward. That's it. That's it. You know, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at and to I feel like get a second chance at life myself. And as we all gonna find out in one way or another, your life is truly your own. It really is. We come in this world alone, we leave alone, but and while we're here, we make relationships, we make families, right? And we care for everybody and everything. And sometimes life doesn't play out the way you think it's gonna be. You ever be with your like friend when you were younger? You guys say to yourselves, yo, when we grow up, we're gonna buy mansions right next to each other. Shit like that, right? We're gonna have like mansion cars. And then as a kid, you'd be like, that's my car, like, in the back seat of your parents' car type shit. Life doesn't work out like that, does it? Does it? And you can go on and do multiple shit, experience like two or three lives in one life. Then they say life is short. It really is, but don't speed shit up. Trust me, slow down. Because a lot of the things that were like first for me, I did everything fast, real fast. And I can blame that on the design. I can blame that on anything. It doesn't matter. None of that shit matters. Will it change anything today? No. Um, I just feel like, you know, if my mom was around today, if my dad was around, my little brother, and I had them two in my life, you know, and they could see all of us, all their kids today, that would have been great. Life just didn't turn out the way I thought it would. That's it. That's it. I think that's the only way I'm able to cope with this shit, bro. Because this shit is so real, you know. And the fact that I got a good support with my wife, my family, my other kids, my sons. Shout out to my son Stan, man. He's been really holding it down. And my son Marcos, man, he's my little trooper. Like, damn, name dropping like a motherfucker, right? But the first one was cool. And like, it's just tough. It's just tough because they lost a mom. Yeah, she was my friend. Yeah, to me, she was more than that. But it's their mom. And damn, man. I'm like, man, I guess she left y'all with me. I guess I'm the last of the Mohegans, dog. I'm all you got. Let's make this shit work. I don't know. um, sit, sit. See if I can make you guys proud. You know, that's it, man. Man, thanks for everybody just giving me this moment. I'm glad I got this platform, man, because it really lets me hear myself talk right now. And I really needed this right now, like this. I mean, I could call anybody I want, but it's just, it's, it's in the now. I know 11 o'clock's going to come around. And I know in my mind that means going to be taking place. And, dude, we're going to have to make some decisions here. Yeah, man. Man. Just pray for me, guys, man. And thank you for everybody listening and support, man. And I just, she was funny. She was funny when we were kids. She was really funny. I remember one time I came over her house and her little brother, right? He was like, he was wild. He was out of control, right? And dig this. He grew up to be one of the like the most. I look at him how he is as a man and like dad and shit, and he's mad younger than me. Yo, my man, like amazing dad. Trust me when I tell you, her brother, yo, amazing dude, bro. Straight up. And but when he was bad, you would never know this. Yo, this kid wouldn't stop swearing every day. He opened up the window. F you, Edwin. How you doing, brother? Blah, 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 blah. And he'd be like, and he yelled to his friends, "Fine," and he'd stick up his middle finger. And he was bad. He was really bad. So I started dating his sister. So I would come up to the house and he would come outside. So one day he met me outside and he had his pants with his belt, but he had another belt like his mom's belt wrapped around his stomach, and he had every kitchen knife tucked in his pants like this. He had like five of them like this, and he came out and he said, "Look, Edwin." And he showed me, and he was looking up because he didn't want his mother to see him, which was her mother, right? And he was like this, and he was like, "Look," and he was like, "Shut the fuck up." And he said it to me, and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I know how to throw him." He was like, yo, come to the backyard. I'm gonna show you, right? So I'm like, if I don't go to the backyard, I'm like, nah, I'm not going back there. What you say? He'll probably start throwing them at me, right? So I was like, I'm going to the backyard with you. So he takes me around the house and like he's laughing and giggling and shit. He mad little, right? Imagine, right? I'm 11. I'm 11. So how old was he? What, 6? 5 or something? So he's little. He's got the knives everywhere, right? So we go in the back and he starts taking out the knives. He starts throwing them in the tree. The first two didn't even stick to the tree. They bounced off towards him and me. They're being, and I'm like, yo, this kid is dangerous. Yo, he starts, like a ninja, right? So I let him do his thing because soon I realized once you threw them, you have no more knives, right? There I can make my escape upstairs to where my maiden is up there in her castle because this guy right here got her trapped, right? Apparently, right? There's gonna be molten lava everywhere. Yo, this was hilarious. So her little brother, right? So I was like, yo, I'm out, right? He's like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna show you that they stick. That he wanted to prove that he can get one, like to stick in the thing. Man, I fell for that shit. He got one in the tree. He threw it. He stuck it. Poof! It stuck. But since no sooner that he stuck that one in the tree, he looked at me and was like, "I'm ready." And he started throwing the knives. Yo, little mother. Yo, I want to kick him in his chest, but I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because then, you know what I'm saying? His sister would be mad. She'll feel some kind of way. This little, he turned on me, started throwing the knives at me and shit. Oh, man. Ah, same place. This is the same building she lived in. 'Cause this is like the first place I met her at. I'm up on she lived on the second, it was 1 floor, 2 floor, like that. So there's like a little porch right there. True story, right? I'm out there. You know, I did everything. I came into the house, say hi to the mom, hey dad, blah blah blah, sister, noogie, right? And then little dangerous ninja boy, right? He's there, and I'm like, you, what are you doing? So I got past security, so I was allowed to be on the porch with her with the door open, of course, right? So sometime the wind would blow and the door would mysteriously shut. There was my opportunity to sneak in a basil. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was trying to do. But I also was trying to be a little slick and cool about shit. So your boy, you know how the porch got like that? Well, hers had like this little white, it was like that thick. It was like that thick. And then it drops like that. So I was sitting on it like this. Cool as fuck with my Adidas, right? Like this, like that. And she came up and she went to sneak to give me the kiss, and she did. Boom, gave me the kiss. She turned around to look. I leaned back to look further. I went, your boy flipped like this and hit the ground. Boom. Yo, all the air came right out of me. She comes running downstairs and looks at me. There's a bottle, a broken bottle that's like this in the ground, like that far from my neck, like that. And she's like, she picks it up. She's like, look, this could have went in your neck. And I was like, but I was too cool to be hurt. Now, you know, I bounced back up. I was a spring chicken back then. I bounced back up like, what? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I stood like 15 minutes like that, fronting, got a kiss, got further down the block. And soon as I got further away from her house where she couldn't see me, oh, God damn. Oh, yo, I was twisted. Yeah, man. Good times, good times, good times. Yeah. See, that's the shit I like to think about. Shit like that. Like, Like you want? Ah, nah, I ain't gonna share that one. Dead man. There was some fun times, man. She was there with me with that Burger King story too. I mean the McDonald's story with the when I told y'all about that shit. She was there. Oh, and with that money I got for the Adidas shit. Oh, you know I took her to McDonald's breakfast before school every morning until that money ran out. Man, them breakfast meals was $1.99 back then. $1.09. Man, listen, you know how long that money stretched? Some of it did go into arcades. Yes, it did. But yeah, yo, yeah, it did. Yes, I did. Good moments, man. And that's just what I need. I need to hear myself talk, smile about it. I really needed that right there. You know, I remember them days, man. And I just want to like keep it there. You know, we was real cool, man. It was like Bonnie and Clyde at one time. Yeah. You know, it was tough. Yeah, I knew it was tough when we lost our daughter. I knew it was tough. Uh, and I had seen this before. I had seen this before. I was taught this valuable lesson when my grandparents died. First, my grandmother passed away, and they were together so long, fucking, I think 80 years or some shit. I don't know what it was. I don't know the correct number. But what I do know is there was nothing wrong with my grandfather at all. Like, nothing. That man was strong as an ox. I mean, listen, no bullshit. We had gotten a flat tire like maybe 10, 15 days prior to my grandmother going to the hospital. And my grandfather back in the day in Jersey jacked up the car at that age, it changed the tire, took it off and put the other one on. So he was still like moving. He was a man that, I mean, for, he was old, yeah, but I considered him still strong for an old man like that. There was old men, they didn't even walk. They couldn't even get out of bed. And he lived for my grandma. But my grandmother was functional too. She was out in the project selling that Avon until she couldn't. You know what I mean? Like she was that way. They were just movers. They were like city people, like from Jersey. And she passed away. And literally, he got sick that night. And the next morning, he passed away. There was nothing wrong with him. He just shut himself off. So when I learned that valuable lesson there, that the grown-ups were explaining to me that my grandfather passed away from a broken heart, and I didn't understand it as a child. I didn't. I was like, what? Like what? And life is crazy. It it teaches you and repeats lessons in life. And that's what I think life is. We all go through our journey. We all experience our own things. This is our own movie. And you will continue to repeat things in life until you get it right. A life lesson, a life changing event, a life inner change. And when we all meet our maker, that will be your life story. That's it. We're all unique. We might have done similar shit, all unique. You're unique. I am. Everybody's unique. Just like our eye colors. There are no two eye colors alike in the world. And if you possess those only two eye colors, well, then you're unique. There is no other version of you. Anybody can have similar traits, but they're not you. So enjoy your life, appreciate your moments, uh, and just know that life is gonna be trippy sometimes. Life is gonna be real testing and trippy. Some people ask me, "Yo, Ed, man, how are you like this?" Like, I always fantasize like in like brief moments as a child, like 17, 18, when I was at my most aggressive. And I would think if my mom died, what would I do? How would I act? How would I respond? And at that age, I felt and I thought different. I would have acted differently. At the time when she did pass away, it hit me hard anyway. Uh, yeah, I fell apart for a long time. I was just a mama's boy. I was attached to my mom, so that it just yeah, that was bad. And then as a father, when my kids were younger, they were real little. You would see tragedies unfold on TV with other parents and their child's getting abducted, and you quickly look at your child and you say, "No, man, I would." Everybody's dying, like everybody's dead. You touch one hair, everyone dead, right? So, like, then as you start to grow up, you start to realize, you start to say to yourself, um, yes, she's my daughter, but I gotta keep it together for the rest of them. I gotta keep it together for myself. I gotta keep it together for my family. Life has to continue. I wouldn't want them to stop their lives if something was to happen to me. Don't fall apart. Keep going forward. It's tough to do, but nah, I'll be watching you from heaven. That's all I can do, but continue. I wouldn't want someone to fall apart so bad that they went into alcohol or drug abuse or anything else, or start giving up on themselves or start questioning their God and everything. And I wouldn't want that, my death to cause that much pain to them. I want to be missed, yeah, but I wouldn't want that, right? So you we it caught me in a different space in my life. I've already been through so much shit, guys. I buried 16 of my friends. Um, it just, it just, it's just life right now, man. I don't have anybody to blame. Nobody touched a hair on my kid. God chose to take her. I don't know what to say, and as a dad, you like, you know, uh, I lost a very close person to me, but at the same time, uh, hold on, gentlemen. I gotta take this call right here. Hold on. All right, fight fans. The one person that can call me right now and make me end this live just did. So I got to end this live short. But thank you for letting me get all this off my chest. Just thank you for everything. And fight fans, we will tune in later definitely because we did not talk boxing today. I know I've been going through some shit, but we gotta talk. So fight fans, thank you. I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys